What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 India AI only battle. We continue with four superpowers, potentially still to go at it. Hopefully we get to see that. I think that would be pretty cool. They're also really close to each other, which you don't always see either, which is pretty useful. There are most of the sort of minor nations now are in the eastern part of the map doing their own thing. Burma's having a good time in particular. Vietnam's still here, of course, as well, but they're having their own kind of game. Yeah, it's between these four, I think, now for the win. I'm going to put Chola in there. I'm not going to be mean. I think there's a chance. You never know if you get lucky enough. The problem with this is like there's no specified end date, right? Normally, maybe 6 months ago, I'd end every game at like turn 350. We'd say that's the cut-off point, and then after that, we'd keep going, but not do the scores just for like the risk of it not opening. Now, I don't know, we're nearly there. It seems fine. I mean, we just keep going. I don't know. So I don't really know when the results will actually be. It's an awkward one. Because obviously, it's a bit, you know, whoever would win at turn 350, it could be different at 400. Could definitely be different by 450, 500. If we can get that far, I don't want to promise anything. It usually like falls off a cliff. You know, it's not gradual and then it just doesn't work anymore. It will just be one day the game won't open for me anymore. That's normally how it happens. So you've just got to find the right sort of thing. But yeah, at the moment I think it's pretty open to all of these four. Certainly size wise you would favour Pakistan, but I think population of these cities, they're so high compared to usual that it's maybe not as clear cut as usual. I think Gupta is actually more populated than this. That might change things. There's still a lot of desert tiles, so that might just change things a little bit. Potentially, who knows? And obviously production, this map is very flat. If you actually look sort of in depth, there's very few hills. Like there was no rivers. There's a few hills, but certainly not the normal ratio of hills that there would be. A lot of units now building up here. Keep an eye on them. Gonna hit 50 pop in their capital as well. And we will look at those info addicts today to get an idea of who of these four is the best. I think Chola might be sort of the clear fourth place. And I don't know how much better they are than Vietnam and Burma. They're actually smaller than Vietnam. If you go off the Burma, sorry. If you sort of go off the mini map. So it is hard to tell. Maybe I don't know, maybe Burma's in the conversation too, but they seem a bit behind on technology. But yeah, they're all rebuilding, so as long as none of them go into a war sort of between now and turn 350, we might get an actual really interesting look at those info addicts of them all with a bit of a, you know, peacetime time to build, because you know sometimes they're at war and they have low units and it's hard to compare them. Here they've all had sort of a similar time. I guess Chola was at peace before anyway, but the rest of them certainly have had similar time to rebuild, reintegrate some of these new cities. So we'll see how it looks at turn 350, 10 turns away, so that'll probably be the second half of this episode. And we get there. What do we got here? Burma. I think that's off Moria. Yes, it is another city falling to Burma there. This would be, if they get this 46, that'd be huge. Of course, it will drop to about 23, maybe a bit more. Sometimes you get away with a bit more. I think if you use a boat, it takes more. Oh no, that's the health. That might not be the population. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you get away with it. You lose a bit less. But we'll see what happens to this city. It is going to be under siege fairly soon. Europa, still the only other civ sort of in the western part of the map, still clinging on. Just waiting for that little bubble to come down the right hand side of who's at war with who, or who's declared. It did seem like Gupta and Pandya were friends before. A lot of their declarations were joint ones, so That might play into it. I don't know. Should we have a look what the relations are between them all when this turns over? We will. Vietnam will take forever now to end their turn, of course. Okay, right, here we go. Diplomacy. Okay, Pandya has no friends according to this. They have denounced Pakistan and Chola. Pakistan is friends with Chola, and Gupta's not got any of them as friends, but they've also denounced Pakistan. Okay, so that is kind of set up, I guess, then for Pandya and Gupta v Chola and Pakistan. Kind of, not. It's not obvious enough that that would be how it would happen. You'd need a lot of people to declare at the right time. But something like that could definitely happen. Seems plausible from those friendships and denouncements and what we knew already about who was friends or who's been working together before. Gupta has had an explosion of units even in just this episode. This area is now full of XCOM squads too. Yeah, they can. I mean, they're probably building them in like one turn in these cities. I mean, possibly even, obviously you can't do it quicker than one turn, but they probably have enough production to do it quicker. If, you know, with the values in this city at 49 pot. I mean, they probably pop out the giant death robots pretty quickly. I imagine uranium is the limiting factor there, not production. This city is, oh, it's getting close. That will be a big one actually, 46. I think it's the second biggest in the world. There's the 42, and then yeah, I think that was third. That'll be a big victory for Burma to get their hands on this. Maybe there's still a chance for them. If they could do it very quickly, clear up Moria, and then somehow win it, you know, go win against Vietnam. I mean, that, yeah, they're in it then, but that's still, it's going to be difficult. I just don't think they could do much against Gupta. That's kind of their issue, to stop them, you know, if they didn't get Vietnam. Bengal is obviously, they're here, but it's not going to be a game changer if they take those. Although they are my pick, so maybe I'll be a bit less friendly if you take them out. If we're going off the positions decided by survival though, Bengal has outlasted British Raj, Pratihara, Tibet, some of the most popular picks. The Mughals, Persia, Siam. I think that's nearly everyone. Maratha, India. I think that is everyone now. Won't go much further. I don't think there was anyone else. If there was, sorry for forgetting you. I don't think there was though, was there? No, I don't think so. Moria was here, Gupta started here. There was a lot of empty space sort of here. Maratha was down here. Oh, Harappa is still around. I didn't mention them, I guess. But they've not outlasted Harappa technically yet, because Harappa is still alive, so not really forgotten. I felt there should be there was another one up here, but I don't think so. No, I don't. No, there wasn't. I'm gonna trust myself. I feel again another one here, but that was British Raj. I don't think it was anyone else. Yeah, no, I think I'm right. Either way, turn 3, 4, 5 passes. Another turn that these four have avoided each other. Of course, we have the other there is the other option, I guess. In the back of my mind, it is there. We can obviously make them fight for the cinematic experience. Just force them to do it, but that isn't then AI only, so it's not an easy decision to do that. Burma does take that city, and there you go, it didn't go to 23, it went to 28, so didn't quite half. That's great for Burma. That's probably their biggest, or joint biggest city now, or one of. With that, 28, yeah, joint with these, there's 130, but yep, that's pretty much right up there. Their happiness could obviously support it. And that gives them an even bigger border with Gupta. Does leave Moria with just 2 cities, one here at the basin of that Andes River. The river. The big one. I'm trying not to get confused with like the ones in China as well. That's Yangtze. Is it Andes? I feel like there's another one. Maybe it is Andes. Is there? I feel like there's two big ones in India. Unless... Here we go. Nothing's going on. We can find out. Biggest rivers in India. I feel like there's another one, but maybe I am right. Is the Ganges in China or India? No, the Ganges is in India. And there's also the Indus River. Okay, and the Brahmaputra River. They're the longest. There you go. But I definitely heard of the Ganges. So there we go. That one was right. Yeah, that is the main one. Although lots of rivers flow into this area, as we've tried to represent with the five different ones. But yeah, the Ganges is the big one that comes from sort of up here. It's meant to be this one, I believe. So that one? No, it might be this one in what I've tried to represent on the map. So there you go. Yeah, the Yangtze River is China. I feel there's there's a big river. Oh, is it the Mekong? That's a big river through here, isn't it? Through Southeast Asia, which we do not really have. I guess we have it here, sort of minimal one, but we don't have the exact location. What happened here? Who keeps attacking these guys? How did you do this? Did they build another nuke again? I feel like they must be building nukes and just sending them up. They have to, because these units are hurt. I think if I stare long enough, it will load in. I think anyway. They must have done, right? There's no way they could hit all the paratroopers if not. I don't know what is going on there. They must just be building them really slowly and just using them straight away. Anyway, we have a revolution in Burma. They've gone to autocracy, which means there's going to be 2 turns of pandemonium for them, and that's messed things up for the info addicts, because some of their stats will drop to 0 for 2 turns. I don't know if that will happen. Hopefully it doesn't break, but yeah, technically like their science output's going to be at 0, which is a bit of an issue. Right, I'm just going to save again for crash protection. There we go, saved, and in we go. No, it worked fine. Here's the score. You can see Pakistan leading the way ahead of Gupta. Yep, Pandya then in 3rd, and then Chola is actually behind Burma now, and Vietnam, I guess, is that other blue line. Yep, and there's a declining yellow one, which is still alive. I don't know who that is. Is that? Oh, that's Moria. Okay. Anyway, we could use the graphs here, but we'll use the fact book. It's fine. So there you go. Population. There's now 306 million people living in the Gupta Empire. 240 million in Pakistan. 150 in Pandya and Chola. Essentially, we're gonna do some creative rounding here just to make it easier. 105 million in Burma. 95 million in Vietnam. 6 million still in Harappa in their 2 cities, which is quite impressive. 4.4 million in Moria, and then 198,000 left in small Bengal. So what is that? We were looking at the world's population before. 540 to another 840 million, 945. So it's over 1 billion now. It's finally there. There we go. Mostly within Gupta and Pakistan. But a huge amount, 300 million in the south of India as well, and another 200 almost exactly. In fact, it is 199,999 if you look at the yeah, look, 466 033. Oh no, sorry, it's 199,499, which is a bit annoying, but it was pretty close to perfect numbers wise to 200 million. Crop yield, Pakistan with a huge lead, but obviously it's spread over more cities, which the numbers, you know, we've gone through this many times. The city number, the jump from 1 to 2 population is much bigger or smaller one way around than the jump from say 30 to 31. I think one way, I can't remember which way it is. It's probably 30 to 31 is bigger than 1 to 2. But there you go. So having less big cities is better than lots of small ones. Gupta's in 2nd regardless with about 500 behind, and then another 500 behind is Pandya, then Burma, then Chola, then Vietnam, Harappa, Moria, and then Bengal. Production, Pakistan again leads Gupta now, then Burma's in 3rd. Okay, we've counted out Burma way too much. They're good here. Pandya, Chola, Vietnam, and then Bengal, Moria, and Harappa sort of in a little competition of their own at the bottom. Economies, again it's Pakistan, then Gupta, Pandya, Chola, Burma. although very close between Chola and Burma there. Vietnam, and then again a huge drop to Maurya, Harappa and Bengal. Most land, yep, twice as much for Pakistan. We can see that with our eyes. Gupta and Pandya both in the 5 million range. Burma has just got to 4 million. Chola's just under 3 million and just ahead of Vietnam. That was really? There you go. The coast, maybe the water helping maybe a bit there. Again, Maurya, Harappa and Bengal pretty close, and then I obviously gave myself some land to stop people crossing through the mountains. Military, the big one. Gupta does lead this one over Pakistan by 500,000, which is 24. Well, compared to Pakistan, this is where maths gets confusing, right? It's 33% more. It's a third more than for Pakistan's army, but it's 25% less for Gupta's army. It's nice and, well, there you go, percentages. Burma at 1.2 million, 1.1 million for Pandya, and 1 million for Chola. Those are all huge numbers. To have 5 civs in the millions, and one of them obviously with 2 million, it's pretty big. And Vietnam's only 50k off it as well, so huge numbers for the big 6. I mean, even Vietnam is not particularly weak. 2 million can probably defend from 1 million if you do it right. So, well, the other way around, that should have been 1 million can defend 2 million, not the other way around. Either way, social policies. Pakistan leads the way ahead of Gupta, then Pandya, Vietnam, Maurya, Chola, Burma, Harappa, and then Bengal way off at the bottom. Everyone is in positive happiness, although Gupta's only on 2, Chola 14, whereas Pandya and Pakistan in the 100s. Probably had a ability that scaled with religion or something like that that's helped them there. Well, not scaled with religion, a religion ability that scaled with population or cities. Technologies, 80 then for Gupta, Pandya, Pakistan and Chola, our big 4. There is a drop here to Vietnam and Harappa on 72. Burma's only on 71. Maybe a bit of a hindrance to them being part of that big 4 discussion. Then Maurya is on 70, and oh my goodness, Bengal is down on 47. They're trying. Net gold, only Bengal losing money. Some of them are on perfectly balanced on 0, but Pakistan making a huge profit at the moment, and Pandya and Gupta. Chola not so much, but yeah, the big 3 really raking in some money. Cities then, Pakistan with 50, 23 for Gupta, 22 for Pandya, 17 for Burma, 13 for Vietnam and Chola, 2 for Maurya, Harappa and Bengal. Science output, Burma is on 0, so I don't know what that would have been before it was on 0. That's a bit harsh, but it's because they had their revolution. It will be back up in a few turns. Bengal is on 80, Maurya 130, Harappa 170, and then a huge jump to Vietnam at 1,300, Chola 1,600, Pandya 3k, Gupta 4k, Pakistan at 6k. Culture, Pakistan again leads, then Gupta, Pandya, Vietnam, Chola, Maurya, Bengal and Harappa. Wonders is led by Gupta, 11 for Pakistan, 7 for Pandya, 5 for Chola, 4 for Vietnam, 1 for Burma, none for the rest. Great works, Pakistan leads again, just ahead of Gupta, then Burma's up in 3rd, Pandya, Vietnam, Chola, Maurya, 1 for Harappa and Bengal. Good job guys, just the 1. Trade routes, obviously it's based on who's at war mostly. Most of them have access to the majority apart from Bengal. 0 for Maurya at war, 4 for Bengal, tech limiting, and maybe cities to caravan limiting. Probably not, but maybe. Harappa with 6, and then yeah, 8s, and then the 2 that have got the wonders for the extra one have 9. Tourism then, Pakistan leads the way again ahead of Gupta, then Burma, Pandya, Chola, Vietnam, Maurya, Harappa, Bengal. I'm surprised Maurya is an ideal destination right now, but there you go. But there we go, we continue. If it was to end there, like some of the old games would, yeah, I think Pakistan would have won that. They topped most of them with a pretty healthy lead over Gupta, but the big one, military manpower, was still going Gupta's way, so it's not necessarily over. Of course, they had more production, so Gupta probably needs the element of surprise, but with the right alliances, who knows what will happen. And we are going to keep going. It's not over yet, so don't worry. Don't panic. As always, though, if you have enjoyed the episode, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.